Hello and welcome all of you to my YouTube channel Animals and Pets with Partha. This is after the New Year's. I also got busy like everyone else, rejoicing, enjoying the New Year's. 2022 seems to be very promising for the dog-loving fraternity of India. There is a host of shows all across the country that has been happening over the last 2 months. And over the New Year's and it's carrying on, the festival of dog shows are on. We see some brilliant judging from all across the country. News has been filtering in that the judges are doing a wonderful job, and that people, the dog-loving fraternity, is gaining confidence to come to dog shows and flocking there with their best of dogs and competing under knowledgeable, fair, honest judges. Well, they are not the judges that have been appointed by the syndicate. Most of those judges appointed by the syndicate are corrupt judges, and that has actually ruined our dog world and its reputation. Even a little child in this country, in the dog world, knows that our dog shows in the last nearly 2 decades were all fixed by the syndicate and its sycophants. Well, there has been host of judges that have been coming from all over the world, mostly from Europe, and many of them just came to do favors in return for a great holiday to India. Well, the judges, I must admit, that are judging now and are not under the influence of the syndicate, they are just doing a brilliant job. My salute to them for really promoting this wonderful sport of ours. Many years ago, when I was a little child and I came to this dog world with a lot of dreams, and I always visualized a very fair dog world. But as times went, and in the last 2 decades, I saw the worst happening to our dog game in this country. Our entries just dwindled from in 1995 at the national shows in Talkatora Stadium in Delhi, we had an entry of 1,200 dogs. But where are those dogs gone? Where are the exhibitors? Those exhibitors, aristocratic, very enthusiastic connoisseurs of the dogs have all vanished from the dog show scene. Because in their place, what was brought in was a bunch of stooges, and who conducted and controlled the entire dog show. Everything was money, money, and money. And even today, we are fighting matters, and a lot of matters are also in court to rid the dog game and cleanse the dog game from the corruption. But I must say that the dog world of India, which was initiated by the Britishers maybe hundreds of years ago, when the British settlement came to India. Of course, our kennel club is 120, 30 years old, which is one of the oldest kennel clubs in the world, which was started by K.C. London. And there were some wonderful dogs, some of the greatest dogs that came into this country over the years from England. In earlier days, they used to come in ships, and a lot of these exotic breeds of dogs, like the bull terriers, the fox terriers, the Airedale terriers, and the bulldogs, were part of our family. And late Dr. Chatterjee, who happens to be my great-grandfather, he actually had imported a lot of these dogs, and when they arrived in ships from the UK. But what happened was our dog world was built on very strong values. And those values in the dog world were all inculcated by the Britishers in those early years. And then what happened was, after the partition, of course, after we won independence of India, the Britishers left, but they left a legacy. It is undoubtedly that they did sort of benefit from India over the years, but then they also left back a very rich legacy of a lot of culture, British culture, and part of British culture were dog shows. My mentors happened to be judges who were trained in the British era. And well, I'm fortunate to be able to associate with them closely, and I'm grateful to them for accepting me as their pupil. But I must say that later on, of course, I became a judge, and then I judged all over the country and around the world, and I had the privilege of having judged the Melbourne Royal in 1989, the Brisbane Royal in the year 2000, and the Hobart Royal in 2004. Apart from this, many more dog shows, some great dog shows in New Zealand, some in Europe, and of course Japan and many other countries, South Africa, and a lot of these countries, most of these countries like Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and Sri Lanka, they're all kennel clubs, were British run kennel clubs at one time. Anyway, what transpired was very unfortunate for the dog world of India. We did have separate clubs, but we never had this animosity. No one bred this animosity into the dog world of India. But then a foreign company got associated in India, got an entry to become the dictators of the Indian dog world through a couple of people. And those people, of course, welcomed this organization, and what happened was they just broke and fragmented our dog world. And only the people appointed by them or actually being sponsored by them would run the dog game of this country, which is very wrong. Our dog world broke up into parts, and only a few, sycophants of the syndicate became judges. And of course, few good judges are of course there, but then majority had to actually pave their way to become judges, and that destroyed completely our dog world. And then came a galaxy of judges. Earlier we used to get some wonderful British judges, then judges from Australia, New Zealand with great values. But then came a host of judges who were tutored to put up dogs which they were asked to by the clubs and the syndicate. And there was a lot of money because the judges who listened to them and put up such dogs would get big fat pocket money to spending money here, shopping money, what they call, and went back. So India became a subject of joke in the Indian dog world around the world, which is very unfortunate. But anyway, things have changed, and galaxy of knowledgeable, young, not so young, old people who never had the opportunity to come out and judge are judging dog shows now. And they're doing a brilliant job. And the dog-loving fraternity are having fun. They go to dog shows, they win or lose, they go back again to these shows and enjoy the atmosphere and also learn from these events. So I would say, and I would salute again to this new generation of dog lovers that have defied the syndicate and are coming out to exhibit under these wonderful judges. I have an experience of more than 35 years as a dog judge, and have traveled a lot across India and around the world. And I must admit that we are at a turning point. We are soon going to get rid of this syndicate, and a new era is going to start in the Indian dog world. We must stay united. Every dog lover is a part of this fraternity. We should not differentiate between anyone. Every person, every club has a right to exist and a right to perform, as long as they follow the rules of the law of the land, which is India. We are not interested for further endorsement by any foreign body to say that we can run our shows. We have been doing it much before. But these people came in and tried to establish themselves here and try to endorse us. We don't need endorsement from anybody. These judges are not trained by the syndicate or the judges training committee, which never did anything for the dog lovers of this country. And then we are not interested. We are only interested in a unified dog game of India. And I would appeal to everyone to communicate with each other, show in any show, and show under all honest, fair, knowledgeable judges who are judging without getting any remuneration. They are doing an honorary job, and they are doing a brilliant job. Thank you very much, and I am going to come back with more information and about other matters which is of interest to dog lovers of this country. And of course, on other pets, I will definitely come back. I have not forgotten it, that this channel is not only meant for dog lovers, but for all pet lovers and animal lovers around the world. Thank you very much. Bye-bye and good night.